Referee Steve Gray, adept in 2 languages. Paddy Barnes, massively popular here in Belfast, and by a distance. This is the hardest test of his career. Undefeated in 4 pro fights so far. Quezada definitely represents a step up, and you can see from the size disparity, he's something of a physical step up as well.
Yeah, the problem for Barnes is going to be getting close up to Quezada, but a very experienced amateur, wasn't he, Paddy Barnes? He's come across every sort of style in the game, John, boxing as an amateur in Olympic Games. 3 Olympics, remember, he's been to. It's Beijing, London and Rio. It's incredible. So, you know, he's more than capable of sussing this fella out, and he will have come across this style no end.
Twice an Olympic bronze medalist, as you heard Thomas Triber say, and also twice a Commonwealth gold medalist in 2010 and 2014, turning pro after only, I say only, getting to the last 16 of the 2016 Olympics and deciding the time was right for him to give it a shot as a professional. He wants to fast-track his way towards a world title shot, and if he wins this fight, Barnes, I am told, would be guaranteed a top 10 WBO world ranking.
He's in against an opponent who's fairly tricky, isn't he, Quezada? He keeps on changing from orthodox to southpaw. He's tall, rangy. So Barnes has definitely got to slip inside those long arms of his opponent and land the better shots. But when he's constantly moving, then yeah, it is a problem for Barnes that he's got to work out. Quezada now boxing orthodox. He'll switch to southpaw, but that's better from Barnes. That's quality.
Fast hands from the Irishman. Big lad though, Quezada, and there were a few raised eyebrows yesterday at the weigh-in when he initially stepped onto the scales. 4 pounds, yes, 4 pounds overweight. A couple of hours later, it's shed a pound and a half, but nevertheless, bigger than Barnes, and if Quezada were to win this, then he wouldn't get that WBO Intercontinental belt if Barnes wins it, because he did make the weight, then he does.
Yeah, very unprofessional, wasn't it, from Quezada? But here he's taking a lot of risks, John Quezada. He keeps switching his feet, orthodox to southpaw. Barnes keeps whipping these shots around the guard of his opponent, the right hook and left hook especially. And that's what he's got to target, especially when Quezada actually switches stance. If he does that in front of him, his feet will come square and he'll become open. So can Barnes expose that? But he's tricky, Quezada.
Decent competitive opening round. Barnes came into the hero's welcome. Quezada has had some decent form, and that would suggest that this is certainly not going to be easy for Barnes. Good hand speed and accuracy again from the Irishman as the bell comes to end the opening round, and a clash of heads right on that bell.
Behind the trap, and that's a more busy head. That was a good round. You're all right.
Paddy Barnes getting words of advice from Danny Vaughan and signs of the skill, the quality of Barnes in that opening round. And there's the head clash right before the bell.
I thought it was a decent round for Barnes, some good stuff there. Yeah, it was unfortunate the head clash, but hopefully there wasn't a cut from it. So, yeah, Barnes got the opening round for me.
Some celebs from over this side of the water here at ringside tonight. And lovely to see among them Mary Peters, Olympic gold medalist from back in 1972, one of our very finest of all athletes.
She's a big boxing fan, isn't she, Mary Peters? I've seen her a couple of times, especially at the amateurs. Some of the amateur tournaments I've seen her at. So, yeah, she was a fantastic athlete, wasn't she, Mary Peters?
Ah, terrific. A lovely person as well. I spoke to her earlier on, and she said that the first boxing she remembers ever seeing was in 1958 at the Commonwealth Games. She was winning medals from 1966 onwards.
See, nice picking his shots there, Barnes, just adjusting his feet and bringing his opponent onto the shots. This fella will be tough, Quezada, no doubt.
Well, earlier this year, he lost a split to Christopher Rosales, a Mexican, who people remember pushed Andrew Selby really close, floored him as well, before eventually Selby getting home. And he's got victories against Yarda Cardoza, who lost that split decision to Jamie Conlon. So he's no mug, but that's good. Good work from Barnes. A little speed there. And just for a moment, Quezada looked a bit disorganised.
Yeah, he got caught with a good shot there from Barnes. And just momentarily, his legs just wobbled a little bit, Quezada. So that's good work there from Barnes, picking his punches very well.
Speed and accuracy, isn't it? Rather than all-out power from Barnes, it's timing.
I mean, Quezada's only been stopped twice, and one of them, John, was on a cut, remember? So he's a fairly tough fella. I think Barnes, what he's doing now also, he's targeting the body. He knows he's up against someone who's good on his feet, who keeps moving, he's very mobile. So you target downstairs and to slow those feet down.
And, of course, having struggled to make the weight, taking that £1.5 pound off yesterday in a couple of hours, maybe he reckons there will be a stamina weakness which might be exposed by that sort of tactic. This is good from Barnes. Big body shot, it's caught. Landed one while he was on the ground.
Sure right hand.
What a great sure right hand that was.
Sure chopping right hand, John, that was. Tremendous shot. When Quezada was actually going for it himself, but he left himself open. He came square, like we spoke about, came square with his feet. Referee's just having a word with him there about hitting him when he's on the floor, but cracking right hand there from Barnes.
What an excellent shot. And exemplified again the timing of Paddy Barnes. Caught him absolutely perfectly. It's the first time he's had a man down on the floor as a professional.
It's a tremendous little short, sharp right hand, wasn't it? There he was. Look how square Quezada's feet were there. He's open, gets caught there on the chin.
You're not allowed to do this, though. Bush, you can't do that, and he's lucky to get away with just a talking to from that. Could easily have had a point taken away.
He could have jumped. You're quite right. Just heat of the moment, wasn't it? But it was a good shot. Down he goes. Yeah, and Paddy Barnes there. It's a bit naughty from him there.
Well, he's very much in the driving seat now. 10-8 round. And Quezada is very, very slow to come out. And he looks a little bit groggy as he makes his way out. I'm not sure how much farther this is going to go. He is not looking great as he very laboriously pulled himself up off his stool.
Looking very unsteady on his legs, isn't he? I think you're right, John, about him losing the weight also. Had problems coming into this contest, making the weight. Didn't make it. Had to go away. Was it £1.5 pound lighter from the original weight?
I don't think Paddy found it easy. He wasn't the first into the room for a weigh-in, I can tell you. But he got there, and he weighed in at 713.5, which is £0.5 pound inside the flyweight limit. Quezada never got close.
Not at all. But up to now, this is a good performance from Barnes. Targeting that body again.
He wants a world title fight, Barnes. And is it too fanciful to hope? And I'm sure that Belfast people would echo this. Is it too fanciful to hope that he could share a world title billing with Carl Frampton somewhere? Maybe even here. Or maybe at Windsor Park, who knows?
Well, he's got to get the job done tonight. This isn't over yet. But at the moment, he's boxing very well indeed, putting it together.
Two of them going toe-to-toe. And another solid left hand from Barnes. You get the impression that when they do trade, the sharper, more emphatic work is coming from the Irishman.
Yeah, his punches are a little bit more direct, aren't they? Barnes, also, he's got a better defence. He seems to get his hands back up nice and high and elbows tucked in, so he's probably blocking a lot of the shots that are coming back from Quezada. So it's good technical boxing as well from Barnes. Well schooled.
Hardest fight was against the Romanian Silviu Olceanu. That was a good learning experience for Barnes, that fight. He knew he had it tough. He came through it, And he's boxing really impressively here. Quezada trying to get on the front foot, trying to force the pace, trying to fight his way back into this.
Well, Quezada, for me, is choosing the wrong tactics, though, John. He's conceding his height and reach, the way he crouches down and gets caught again with that right hand.
He's on unsteady legs once more. Big body shot goes in as well. Tries to fight back, catches Barnes with a couple of right hands. The crowd are really getting into this here. And Quezada sensed that with those right hands, maybe he had some success there. But Barnes will not take a backward step. Another excellent round.
Okay, you're hitting them all the time. These this fella
I think a bit of credit due to Quezada there. The way Richie, he really did bite on his gum shield and try to fire back after a pretty disastrous second round.
Yeah, true fighting man, isn't he? He got caught there with that overhand right. And Quezada, yeah, he really made a battle of it in this round. But for me, again, he's second best Barnes round for me.
Into the fourth. It's a 10-rounder. If you're just joining us, the Nicaraguan Quezada was down in the second round, and Paddy Barnes, the much decorated amateur, so popular in Northern Ireland, a Belfast man, is in control, it would seem.
See, this is the tactic for me that Quezada should be reverting to. On the move, mobile, using his height and reach and making Barnes work a little bit harder to close that gap down. And then you try and make the smaller man miss and bring him onto your shots. But Quezada, look, he comes forward with wild shots like that, and look how square his feet come, and that's when he's wide open, Quezada.
And punching fresh air like that will sap the energy reserves. Clubbing left hand to the body from Barnes, and then a good right hand as well. Good exchanges, both of them landing solid shots, but the better work again was from Barnes.
Just to seem, he seems to find the target better, doesn't he, Barnes? His accuracy is a little bit better than Quezada. He was a little bit wild here and there with his shots. He's a tough kid, no doubt, but his accuracy and his timing just isn't quite there compared to Barnes.
Came into this Quezada on the back of a 10-round draw against Christian Narvaez in Managua. That was for one of the WBC belts, the Latino flyweight title it was dubbed as, complaining that that left hand was around the back of the body, although in fairness to Barnes, I thought Quezada almost turned his back on him. If he comes through this okay, you can guarantee that Paddy Barnes will be at ringside to watch his great friends Jamie Conlon and Carl Frampton in action later on. Lovely photograph posted on Twitter this week by Carl Frampton, called it the Three Amigos. They've been mates for a long, long time.
Yeah, they spur each other on, don't they? Oh, that's a good right hand again, whipped over the top from Paddy Barnes.
Starting to unleash power shots once more, had to cake a couple in the process. It's not all one-way traffic by any means, and back comes Quezada.
I thought what was good there, though, John, as well, from Barnes. He went through the gears. You've seen him land there 3 or 4 shots at speed.
Complete.
4 rounds out of 4, you've got it, haven't you, Richie?
Yeah, I think he's won every round, and one of those rounds at 10-8. Here he goes through the gears. Tremendous stuff from Paddy Barnes, but Quezada himself came back well. Made a battle of it in this round, but again, for me, Barnes has won the round.
5 points ahead on Rich's scorecard. Mature performance so far from Barnes, and plenty of fizz and sparkle and snap about his work. Quezada just trying to sucker Barnes in. Complaint that it was low. Stop boxing, says the referee. Well, how low was it? Is he going to just get the warning? He is just going to get the warning. He's not going to get the point taken away. Or is he?
Yeah, he just said last one. I think one more, then he'll get a warning.
Yeah. One more and he'll get a point.
Get a point, rather. Point deduction.
Sailing a little bit close to the wind. It wasn't massively low, I don't think. We'll hopefully have another look at that one between rounds, because it was it didn't look massively low. Oh, good hand speed again from Barnes. And back comes Quezada. That's a good sustained attack from the Nicaraguan. Crowd rising to these two men.
Yeah, he's making a fight of it now, isn't he, Quezada, in this round?
Having his best little spell of pressure that he's had in the fight so far. Barnes has put a lot into the early rounds. Leprechaun, as he calls himself. The referee's on Barnes' case a bit now. Telling him off for use of the forearm then.
Yeah, he just shoved his opponent, didn't he, Barnes?
Two of them landing with headshots. This has been, by a distance, Quezada's best round of the fight so far.
Yeah, he's coming back into it in this round, isn't he, Quezada?
Oh, good shot. Heard that left hook thud home. Much better round, though, that one from Quezada. It'll be interesting to see that low punch again, though. Certainly puts Paddy Barnes on rather thin ice. Any more transgression like that, and he's going to have a point taken away.
Yeah, fairly close round, wasn't it, this one? Quezada comes back into it. There, well, I mean...
It's on the belt, isn't it?
It's on the belt. It is a low shot. Let's have a look at it again. It's a swiping shot.
He's not hit it. He's not hit hard, though, has it? It's almost brushed across the front. So, I mean, hey, I'm not in there receiving it, but he looks as though he's made the most of it.
Yeah, he has made the most of it, but, you know, it is slightly low. But I think it's the fact that he's probably done it 2 or 3 times, John, as well.
Into the second half of the fight. Barnes well ahead on the scorecards. At least the way we're seeing it. But he's put a lot into the early stages. It's Quezada, who was down in the second round, remember. Is he going to be able to rally?
It's whether he's got the strength, isn't it, to actually get back into this contest. I've just given him a share of the last one. Apart from that, I think it's been all Barnes.
Shoulder going in. Referee again rightly saying you're not allowed to do that. Steve Gray rightly getting a reputation now as one of this country's best boxing referees. Solid right hand there from Barnes. Very game Quezada, but he's got these looping shots, and the more direct, economical boxing style is definitely that of Barnes.
Yeah, he picks his shots a little bit better, doesn't he, Barnes? He waits, and he's an intelligent sort of boxer. But give credit to Quezada, he's tough.
Well, when he went down in that second round, you'd have thought that it was unlikely that it was going to be seeing that carrying on to this point. But this is a big attack now coming from Barnes. Quezada throwing nothing back. Oh, that's a big body shot. Heard that one thwack home.
And again, a good right hand there from Barnes. He just picks his shots, waits for his opponents on the inside to throw a shot, and then he counter-attacks. He beats him to the punch.
Oohs and ahs from the crowd, celebrating his successes every time. Quezada, of course, pretty much friendless in this Belfast arena, where some 10,000 are gathered here tonight. Next in the ring, we've got Jamie Conlon. What a night for him as he goes for a world title.
Just another low shot went in there from Barnes, and both boxers there just acknowledged it.
He's very, very worried about upsetting the referee any further, isn't he? Every time he's even borderline, there's the apology coming from Barnes now. Oh, that's quality. What a great shot. There's nothing wrong with that. A brilliant left hook, and I think that that might be the end of proceedings. What a punch that was from Paddy Barnes. And is it going to end right here? It has. It ends. It's counted out. A first professional stoppage victory for Paddy Barnes. The world top 10 ranking is his. It was a really mature, authoritative performance from word go. Had his man down in the second round, and there in the sixth round, he ends it with a quite brilliant left hook to the body. And look how much it still hurts.
Yeah, you got to remember, this guy is a tough fella, Quezada, but he gets caught with a lovely left hook to the body after Barnes actually started the work to the head, didn't he? Oh, there it was there. It was a left hook to the head, then a left hook to the body. Super shot. Let's have a look. There's the left hook to the head, and then switches downstairs, left hook to the body. And, you know, this is only his fifth contest, Paddy Barnes. It was a mature display. Lovely left hook to the head. And then that body shot, you know, super double left hook. That was a good display, that was, from Paddy Barnes. He went about his work there really well indeed. Very impressive.
Very, very mature performance from Paddy Barnes, and I think it's certainly not overemphasising things one iota to say that by a distance was the best performance of his professional career. And those people who say that he's not got the power to prosper at the highest level, maybe watching that body shot will just perhaps have to just think again.
Well, it was an intelligent display, wasn't it, from Barnes? He worked well to the head, but sometimes you can overwork to the head, and boxers just take the shots time and again. But the body shots, they're the ones that really hurt, that really matter. And Barnes switched the attack time and again downstairs. There was a few that went low, but that one there was a perfect punch after that left hook to the head. So, yeah, a good display, a good all-round display, I thought, from Paddy Barnes tonight.
Yep, it looked like quality from ringside. The leprechaun is smiling, rightly so. He's about to get that belt around his waist after we hear from Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 3 minutes, 6 seconds of round number 6. Our referee in charge, Steve Gray, reaches the count of 10. Therefore, your winner by way of countout. And now the new WBO Intercontinental Flyweight Champion, Paddy the Leprechaun Barnes.
He can be very satisfied of that performance. Probably pretty proud of it. Well done.